Okay.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Um, so the basic story of the Parashat, as we all know, is that there are 10 generations between Adam and Noah, and the world is filled with violence by human beings. And so God says, that's it, and tells Noah to build an ark. And Noah does so just does it. And then before the flood begins, he loads on all the animals, either 2 by 2 or in some cases more because they're going to be sacrificed later. And the ark is out there 40 days and nights, and ultimately the rain stops and everybody gets off the ark and nothing else is alive. And so the metaphor, of a place of sanctuary in the midst of catastrophe is one that we've had, forever. And I was, when we read it, the text says Noah was a good man for his time. And currently, particularly Jews pick up a lot on this. What does that mean? Because he didn't object to the killing of everybody else. And I was really struck this year, that we build sanctuaries in our communities, particularly within a community. We have the zoos, trying to save the animals in the zoos, to save the DNA, to save the lineage so that the species won't go extinct. And there are all those who are without sanctuary. We're seeing it right now this weekend and this last stretch. We're particularly seeing it in regard to Gaza, in regard to the people who were killed. And in the United States, the ongoing issue of immigration and stopping immigration at the borders, when the truth is, just as with Noah's Ark, there's no way that we as a country can be a sanctuary for the rest of the world. We simply can't take everybody in who wants to be here and who really needs asylum. So, what do we do? How do we think about this? Because it's very important to us to be able to create sanctuary for the world. We all have the memory of the ship, the Jews who circled endlessly where no one would let them dock. We all have the stories in our families of what we escaped from to get here, or maybe to Israel, or maybe a few other places. But we can't make, how do you create policy when you're really trying to think about having the world, having each place a sanctuary? So we build our little places, we build our smaller sanctuaries. And unfortunately, the smaller sanctuaries tend to then say the other sanctuaries, some of them are bad and evil. And that's when we get back to violence. How do we coexist? And of course, the ultimate goal is to make the entire world a sanctuary. And we are so far from that it's the best we can do is create havens, sanctuaries here and here and here and here. And then that gets us to another reading of Noah, which is the one that I originally had come to when I wrote my book, which is that the Hebrew meaning of the word Noach is rest or repose, calm. And the other aspect of having a sanctuary is the one that's internal and the one that we go to when we feel particularly in the presence of the divine in some way, when we pray, hopefully, sometimes when we're outdoors, sometimes in the face of other human beings, sometimes watching a dog run along the street because they're gorgeous when they play and they bounce. So that inner place where we can feel somehow safety, even though there are no guarantees about what happens to us, our physical bodies next, in the next 5 minutes, much less the next year. So that's the other meaning of Noach, that when the world does not offer sanctuary, you can still create or open yourself to this other experience where there's that quality of repose. And of course, there's the ark, on this box, the same word as the Hebrew word for the box Moses is put in. Just floating in the midst of this undifferentiated waters, right? And the box has 3 layers for Noah. There's the lower one where the animals are, there's the middle one where he's there with his family, and there's the opening in the top of the ark to the divine. So the 3 levels of soul, the most physical one, the nefesh, the ruach, and the neshama, are all there in this inner place to go sanctuary, where we reach with all of ourselves to that other experience. That's it.